Roy Keane, one of the most iconic footballers in the history of the game, was born on August 10th, 1971, in Cork, Ireland. His journey from the humble beginnings of his childhood to becoming a legendary figure in world football is a remarkable tale of determination, passion, and raw talent. Keane was raised in a working-class family in the Ballintemple area of Cork, and his early years were marked by the challenges and realities of life in a small town. His love for football began at a young age, playing in local leagues and honing his skills on the streets of Cork. Keane's natural ability and tenacity quickly became apparent, and it was clear he had a gift for the game. Keane's footballing education began at the local Cork club, Rockmount, where his raw talent stood out immediately. He soon caught the attention of scouts from top clubs, and at the age of 18, he made the move to England, signing with Nottingham Forest in 1989 for a modest fee. Forest, under the management of Brian Clough, was a club with a rich history and an excellent environment for a young player to develop. It was here that Keane began to shape his playing style, marked by his fierce competitiveness, tireless work ethic, and growing technical ability. Keane's first season with Nottingham Forest was a challenging one, but he made an immediate impact, quickly establishing himself as a combative and passionate midfielder. His performances caught the attention of several clubs, but it was Manchester United, one of the most successful and prominent clubs in English football, who moved decisively to sign him in 1993. This was a turning point in Keane's career, as Manchester United were on the verge of an era of dominance under the legendary Sir Alex Ferguson. The transfer to Manchester United was not without controversy. Keane's initial season with United was a learning curve, as he adapted to the expectations and intensity of top-level football. However, his resilience and determination paid off. Keane quickly became a crucial part of the Manchester United midfield, where his leadership, intelligence, and ability to dictate the pace of the game were evident. He was known for his aggressive style of play, often setting the tone for his teammates with his relentless pressing and tireless work rate. One of the defining characteristics of Keane's time at Manchester United was his ability to win titles. He became a key figure in the club's success in the Premier League and beyond, with his passion and drive inspiring his teammates. Keane was the heartbeat of United's midfield, dominating games with his combination of technical ability, strength, and leadership. His passing range, vision, and tackling were second to none, and his never-say-die attitude made him a fan favorite. During his time at Manchester United, Keane won numerous league titles, FA Cups, and, perhaps most famously, the UEFA Champions League. The 1999 Champions League final, in particular, stands as one of the most iconic moments in the club's history. Keane played a pivotal role in the semi-final against Juventus, where he delivered a performance that would go down in history as one of the finest in European competition. Despite picking up a yellow card that would have ruled him out of the final, Keane played through the pain and led his team to an unforgettable comeback victory. Keane's relationship with Sir Alex Ferguson was one of the most intriguing aspects of his career. While they shared a mutual respect for one another, Keane's fiery and outspoken nature sometimes led to clashes with his manager. Keane was never afraid to speak his mind, whether it was about the club's performance or his own teammates. His unrelenting standards often put him at odds with others, but it was the same mentality that made him such an influential figure at Manchester United. Off the pitch, Keane's personality and demeanor were often as intense as his on-field performances. He was known for his no-nonsense approach to life and football, and his outspoken views often made headlines. His autobiography, published in 2002, created a media storm with its candid and controversial revelations about his career, relationships with teammates, and his thoughts on the game. Keane's sharp tongue and honesty made him a divisive figure, but they also made him one of the most fascinating personalities in football. Keane's leadership on the pitch was not limited to his vocal presence. It was his actions that truly defined his legacy. He was a player who demanded the best from those around him and was never afraid to take responsibility for his actions. This was perhaps most evident during the 2005 to 2006 season, when Keane's relationship with Ferguson began to deteriorate. After a fallout with the club over a series of incidents, Keane left Manchester United in November 2005, ending an unforgettable 12-year stint at the club. After his departure from Manchester United, Keane's career took a new direction when he joined Celtic in January 2006. His time at Celtic was shorter than his time at United, but it still provided Keane with a fresh challenge. At Celtic, he experienced a different style of football and was able to help guide the club to domestic success, although his time in Scotland was plagued by injuries that ultimately led to his retirement from playing in 2006. After retiring from professional football, Keane moved into management, taking on the role of manager at Sunderland in 2006. His managerial career began with a bang, as he successfully guided Sunderland to promotion from the Championship to the Premier League in his first season in charge. His time at Sunderland was marked by his fiery personality and a desire to instill the same level of discipline and commitment that he had shown as a player. However, his time at Sunderland was not without controversy, and he left the club in 2008 after a series of disappointing results. Keane's managerial career continued with brief stints at Ipswich Town, where he faced a different set of challenges. Despite his passion and drive, Keane was unable to replicate the same level of success he had enjoyed as a player, and he was eventually dismissed from Ipswich in 2011. Following his managerial tenure, Keane became a pundit and commentator, using his extensive knowledge and insight to analyze the game. His outspoken views continued to make him a figure of interest in the media, and he remained a controversial and respected figure in football circles. Throughout his career, Keane was a central figure for the Republic of Ireland. He earned 67 caps and scored 9 goals for his country, representing Ireland in multiple international tournaments, including the 2002 FIFA World Cup. Keane's international career was marked by his leadership and fierce determination, but it was also tinged with moments of frustration, especially due to Ireland's inability to qualify for major tournaments during his tenure. His infamous fallout with manager Mick McCarthy in 2002, which led to Keane leaving the World Cup, remains one of the most talked about incidents in Irish football history. Keane's legacy in the football world is undeniable. He is remembered as one of the greatest midfielders of his generation, a player who combined skill, power, and leadership in a way that few others could match. His career was not without controversy, but his influence on the game and his ability to elevate those around him is what has cemented his place as one of football's all-time greats. Keane's post-playing career has been marked by his continued involvement in football, both as a pundit and as a commentator. His insights into the game, coupled with his no-nonsense approach, make him one of the most respected voices in the world of football. Despite his retirement from the pitch, Keane remains an influential figure, and his legacy continues to inspire players and fans alike. Off the field, Keane's personal life has been just as interesting as his professional career. He married Teresa Doyle in 1997, and the couple has 3 children. Keane has always maintained a relatively private life, with his family being a central part of his existence outside of football. He has often spoken about the importance of family and the grounding influence they have had on him throughout his career. Keane's philanthropic work and contributions to various charitable causes have also been an important aspect of his life. While not one to seek the limelight, Keane has supported numerous charities and initiatives, particularly those related to children and young people. His commitment to giving back has been a quieter but no less significant part of his legacy. In summary, Roy Keane's life and career have been marked by both triumph and controversy. From his early days in Cork to his rise at Nottingham Forest, his legendary time at Manchester United, and his post-playing endeavors, Keane's journey is one of resilience, leadership, and determination. He remains a polarizing yet respected figure in the world of football, admired for his commitment, his ability to inspire others, and his unyielding passion for the game. His legacy as a player, leader, and personality will undoubtedly continue to shape the football world for years to come. Keane's story as a player, both domestically and internationally, was also marked by his involvement in various high-pressure moments that shaped his career. He was no stranger to adversity, and his mentality as a player was often characterized by his ability to rise above challenges. One of the most notable aspects of Keane's playing career was his never-give-up attitude, which was particularly evident in the most high-stakes matches, including major cup finals and crucial league encounters. His leadership qualities were perhaps most apparent when he was on the pitch. It was not just about his footballing ability that made Keane such a vital player for both Manchester United and the Republic of Ireland. It was his fierce determination to win and his uncompromising expectations of those around him. Teammates often spoke about Keane's relentless drive and how it propelled them to greater heights. He demanded the highest standards and was the first to hold himself accountable when things went wrong. It was this powerful mix of self-discipline and leadership that made him one of the best midfielders of his generation. Keane's time at Manchester United remains the pinnacle of his playing career. Under Sir Alex Ferguson, he was a key player in a dominant United side that won countless domestic and European titles. Keane's role in United's midfield was not just to break up opposition attacks, but to drive the team forward with his passing range, his ability to create chances, and his vision. He was integral to the success of the 1999 treble-winning season, when United won the Premier League, FA Cup, and the UEFA Champions League in one of the most remarkable achievements in English football history. Throughout this period, Keane was the emotional core of the team. His performances on the pitch spoke for themselves, but it was his mentality that set him apart. The 1999 Champions League final, for example, is etched into the memory of football fans all around the world. Despite not being available for the final due to suspension, having accumulated yellow cards earlier in the tournament, Keane's leadership in the semi-final and his ability to marshal his teammates in the most crucial moments was a testament to his influence on the field. Even in absence, his role as a motivator and leader helped ensure that United achieved their ultimate goal. Keane's combative nature, though, was not just limited to his tackles or battles in midfield. He was an individual who often found himself in heated exchanges, both with players and managers alike. His relationship with Sir Alex Ferguson, while strong and mutually respectful, was also filled with moments of tension. One such moment came in 2005 when Keane was publicly critical of his teammates in a post-match interview after a loss to Middlesbrough. The fallout from this led to Keane's departure from the club, and it marked the end of an era at Manchester United. Although Ferguson and Keane had their differences, Ferguson has often spoken highly of Keane's importance to United's successes during their time together. In the aftermath of his departure from United, Keane's transition to Celtic was one that surprised many, but also demonstrated his versatility as a player. The decision to leave the Premier League for the Scottish Premiership was one driven by the desire to continue playing at the highest level while also experiencing a different side of football. At Celtic, Keane added to his storied career with domestic trophies, winning the Scottish Premier League and Scottish Cup. However, his time in Scotland was hampered by injuries, and he ultimately retired from football in 2006, just a few months into his time at Celtic. Keane's post-playing career saw him move into management, where he found his leadership tested in a new way. His first managerial position came at Sunderland in 2006, where he quickly turned the club's fortunes around. Sunderland had been struggling in the Championship, but Keane's arrival signaled a new era for the club. Under his management, Sunderland secured promotion to the Premier League in 2007, a remarkable achievement given the state the club had been in prior to his appointment. Keane's work ethic and his ability to inspire the players were key to this success. His time at Sunderland, however, was not without its ups and downs. While he managed to stabilize the team and lead them to survival in the Premier League, his tenure also had its fair share of challenges, both in terms of results and player relationships. Keane's fiery nature did not always sit well with some of his players, and he found himself at odds with certain personalities within the squad. His departure from Sunderland in 2008 came after a series of poor results, which ultimately led to the club parting ways with their manager. Keane's next managerial role was at Ipswich Town, where he took over in 2009. At Ipswich, Keane faced a different set of challenges. He was tasked with reviving the fortunes of a club with a proud history, but one that had fallen into mediocrity in recent years. Keane worked hard to rebuild the team and instill his values into the players, but his time at Ipswich was largely unsuccessful in terms of results. Despite his best efforts, the club struggled in the Championship, and Keane was dismissed in 2011 after a difficult spell in charge. Keane's managerial career continued to be marked by his unyielding personality, one that was both respected and criticized. As a manager, he was fiercely determined to make his mark on every club he was at, but his methods were sometimes seen as abrasive. Keane was never one to shy away from confrontation, and this trait often led to clashes with players and staff. His time in management may not have been as successful as his playing career, but his influence on the game remained significant.